Welcome to the Football Exponential Podcast. I'm Chika and I'm joined by Frank.
Yeah. Hi, Chika. Hi, guys. Welcome back to another episode of the show. It's good to have you back.
You're wearing my enemy today. You're putting on
Yeah.
I don't like Boca.
Oh, okay.
I've
Well,
never I'm more River Plate with Crespo.
yeah.
I'm River
This
Plate.
this is my Riquelme
Oh,
paying homage to Riquelme and those guys.
so let's quickly go. If you're watching us and you like what we are doing, please smash the like button, subscribe, comment, or drop whatever comment you want us to attend to. Let's quickly go to Noni Madueke. It's been reported he should be in London now to do a medical with a proposed move of to Arsenal for £52 million. Last season, he scored 7 goals, 3 assists. Starting 27 games, that's a lot of games, and played a total of 32 games all in the Premier League. He's 23 years of age. First of all, I have two questions for you. What do you think about the move, given that he's still playing the World Club Championship or World Club competition, your championship? Do you think they should have waited for him to have completed the final? What can you say about it?
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's a tough one because you really see. I think we really see kind of situation because normally you allow the player stays with the club after the competition, then it goes away,
Yeah,
gets the
yeah, yeah.
contract done, gets the medical done. But I think from in this case, I just think because I think Arsenal are back in preseason, so I think they need to get this deal as quickly as possible. I don't know what's the driving factor behind that particular decision, but I don't think it's a big deal. I just think the part I don't like I would have loved for him to get like a proper send off. You know what I mean? Like
Yes,
even
yes,
so
yes,
even
yes,
so
yes.
even so even so even if he's still with the Chelsea group, he gets. I'm sure he's probably said his goodbyes to the players and all that. And again, they'll still meet because again, it's still London. Most of them are very good friends. But even for the Chelsea fans, so it gets. I don't know. I think from a sentimental point of view, it's. But I understand it at the end of the day, and I think with Chelsea, I think it's. You just don't want that distraction when you're preparing for a final that's as big as the big fight that they have this weekend against Paris Saint-Germain. So you don't want that distraction. I think even Enzo Maresca, when he was asked the question, he was very straightforward about it. Like, okay, I think Anonymous left the group. He's going back to live to London to get the deal completed, and that's it. So and again, like I think from the outside looking, can you speculate? Is there anything behind this move? Has there been sort of a falling out between the coach or the player or something? Do you get that sense, or am I just
Yeah, I
overthinking
don't
it?
think that. I won't really call it a falling out because I feel it is not only that wants out, not Chelsea wanting
That's
to.
how
That's what I feel.
it's
I
been
might be
reported.
wrong, but I feel yeah, Chelsea are happily ready to because if you notice, Chelsea rejected 50 million. We are told Chelsea rejected £50 million offer only
Yeah.
to agree to 52. So I'm sure they must have called back and say,
No, because
just
it's no, especially when you see what's happened this past week. You see the guys deals of Kudos, sorry, the
yeah.
Kudos deal, the Elanga deal, and you look at, you know what? I think 50 million right now. We don't want Arsenal to walk away because it's again. I think it's a surprising. Very few people expected this move in this transfer window, and I think with Chelsea from the financial perspective, it makes a lot of sense for them. But I think the big question resides more on the Arsenal side of this conversation. And for me, it's only one word: why? Why have Arsenal Football Club decided to shell out
But
this?
they
Because
said
again,
they watch him for months now. They said they've been keeping tabs on him, and I think it's an Arteta
you know,
signing.
you
I
know,
strongly
it's
believe so.
yeah. I think with the way football is now, the way a lot of sports are, I think they have guys that are working in the room. They have a massive hard drive, a lot of information about a lot of players across different leagues, across different continents. And again, it comes down to when you look at the numbers, you look at the players, you see how they played. I think also importantly, when you see again, when you get to see Noni and you can see you look at the statistics, well, what his statistics in the Premier League, it stands out in a way. Like we're not talking about like a guy that's performing in the Bundesliga, then you have to then factor in can that player transfer his skill set to the Premier League. Or not, you've seen the skill set in Premier League. We've seen the good, the bad, and the not so good of this player. I think with Arsenal right now, where they are right now, I don't think this deal makes sense. From the outside looking, I'm not obviously we're not Arsenal fans, but I don't think this deal makes a lot of sense for Arsenal. I don't get why, because we all know going into this window, us all a lot of people felt this is a very decisive window for Arsenal Football Club and their title aspirations in the Premier League and in the Champions League, or even in the cups. And a lot of people pointed that Arsenal have an issue in the attack. The attack is not quite on par with the best of teams in England and Europe.
Mhm.
And signing a player like Noni Madueke is very, I think it's safe to say inconsistent at best.
Mhm.
He has some good moments. He's capable of good things here and there, but I think he's quite inconsistent. I don't think that solves the problem Arsenal have in that position. And again, even more so, the fact that I think for about majority of his senior career at PSV and at Chelsea, he's played on the right wing. That's where Saka is. That's where Saka lives. And
Mhm.
is it going there to be a backup to Saka, which 50 million for a backup winger is crazy to me. It's crazy. Or is it going there to be the guy on the left wing? And if that's the case, is that good enough for Arsenal to challenge for the Premier League next season or even challenge in Europe? I don't think so. Because you know I like Nani. I really like him. But at the same time I can look at his development, his game to game performances and be really, to be honest, very critical of some of his performances. They've not been Some of them have not been there's been some good ones, some of them have not been good enough. I think the highlight of Nani's season has been the hat trick against Wolverhampton Wanderers in the second or match day two last season. I think probably he put in one of the worst performances in the Chelsea shirts in the Conference League final against Betis.
Mhm.
So then you then look at it, and I know if you look at he scored some goals here and there, but I think he has 2 goals this calendar year. I know I think he missed about 6 weeks or 6 to 8 weeks with injury. But is that still good enough? What do you think?
This is it, right? Hold on. I have so many things. Let me unpack. I'm going to get to that
Yeah,
gradually.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
not really
sure.
about. I don't like the way the young man has been treated by Arsenal fans,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Even if I don't
call it.
like a player, it's like Ganucho, right? I pray Chelsea don't sign him. It will piss
Yeah,
me
yeah,
off. But I'm not
yeah.
going to go to his private message to start sending him death threats and all those things.
Yeah.
Abuse, yeah, yeah. And also, I want to make it categorically clear. I don't. Nobody have said it, but in case they bring it up, this is not racism. No, this is football. People might start playing it because this is this is
Well,
football.
no,
Some
no,
people can take advantage of it, but this is football. It's about the competence of the skill set or whatever they perceive about Noni. Now, back to the. I don't like what Arsenal fans have done. Let me give you an example of what I'm saying again. Now, Chelsea fans are excited, some are in between. Now, this I'm not comparing it, but if at a point Noni decides or he becomes a better player and he decides to come back to Chelsea, the way he has left, he did not burn any bridges or what. He didn't live like Havertz or I'm not. I'm sure
yeah,
that Chelsea fans will welcome him back the same way they welcomed David Luiz when he went to PSG.
yeah,
To me, he didn't burn any bridges. You understand what I'm? It wasn't. It
yeah.
wasn't like Havertz that was dragged or whatever. Or Mason Mount was pushed out by the
Miss,
club. It's different. So to me, he still remains loved by Chelsea fans. They still like him. No bomb.
wait, no, 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 no. Okay, no, 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 no. Okay, no, no, no,
You,
no.
you don't agree with
I,
that?
I don't think Chelsea fans like him. I don't think they've shown him. I don't think they like Noni Madueke as a player. There's been because again
Oh yeah, yeah,
we
yeah,
are
yeah, 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 yeah.
like you can appreciate, it, but I don't think like we're in different Chelsea
But
group
not
chat.
for
You see
him to
how
leave. Not for him to. One of the reasons why they don't really like him is
he was
because
not
of the
appreciated.
production. But,
Yeah, I
but
know.
the production was also low.
Yeah, but
And he has stayed longer than NATO. You can say they had almost the same production, but he has stayed longer than NATO. So maybe they felt that he should have done better. Now, that's number one. Then number two, I'll address an issue to some fans saying that 55 million for Noni is too high. Why can't you just pay 70 million or 75 and sign Rodrigo? I
yeah,
understand why they think that way, and that makes better sense theoretically. But while we are talking, I was writing down some names. Mesut Ozil, Sanchez, Gabriel Jesus, Sterling, Robinho, Di Maria, Mane. These are players that were not first choice in their clubs, but we are very, very important to their clubs. But those clubs felt that they were not that good or they were not as important and decided to trade them or sell them. They ended up leaving. You remember also Robin, and then the Dutch guy that went to Inter Milan. What's his name again?
Schneider.
Schneider.
Wesley Schneider.
Ben Schneider. These are the names. If you look at all these names, to me, Ozil was a success to some extent because he only the FA Cup, they didn't win the league title, but he was a massive success. Sanchez was a success. I didn't put Santi Cazorla because Cazorla was the biggest player in whatever team he was. That's different. I'm talking about fringe players. Ozil wasn't the main guy.
Yeah.
Ronaldo was the main guy. Sanchez wasn't the main guy in Barcelona. He had Messi, he had David. I'm just putting fringe players. Now, you look at Jesus. Jesus, depending on who you ask, his first season he was good, but he had injury. He tailed up. Sterling went to Chelsea, abysmal record. Robinho went to Manchester City, abysmal. Di Maria went to Manchester United, never settled in Manchester United, abysmal. Mane went to Bayern Munich. It wasn't abysmal, but it
It
didn't
was
work
it,
out.
was- it wasn't good.
It wasn't good.
I
So
see your
there's
point.
something about buying second choice. There's a reason why they are not first choice in a big club. Thinking that you can go to a bigger club, get the number two player, come to your club, make him a number one, and then he leaves the team. Sometimes it doesn't work that way. Rob,
Yeah,
Rodrigo can come to Premier League and become awful. It's easy to see the pressure at Real Madrid is not the number one. The pressure is on Vinicius.
yeah, I see your point. And I think just to add, I particularly am not really. I think Rodrigo has been one of is that's or has been mentioned as that special player that's available or could be available in this window for Arsenal's, Chelsea, clubs that need that kind of player in that position, that left wing. But but I think because I think we've watched him from afar in Spanish football, but I've seen a player that's always been he's not been a leader in that team. I think there's always been Benzema, Vinicius, Jude Bellingham, Mbappe now. He's been a very good squad player for Real Madrid, but I don't think he's that guy that can. I don't think he's an 80 million pound player. I don't. I'm not sure if he can shoulder the burden of Arsenal's title challenge. Because if you're signing this guy, like again, you said Alexis Sanchez and even Ozil won the World Cup as an Arsenal player. That's the kind of level Ozil was. Even Sanchez was winning back-to-back Copa Americas as an Arsenal player. That is the level those guys were. I don't think Rodrigo is on that level either. And that's when it then comes, okay, if Rodrigo is not the answer, okay, you look at a Noni Madueke, which he definitely has flaws in his game, but he has some aspects of his play that he does well. And in terms of his progressive carries, there are very few players in Premier League that are better than him right now. His shots per 90 minutes is quite high for a player that plays on the wing.
Forty
He's
percent, 40% shot accuracy. That is good.
yeah,
Remember,
and
we talked about
but
the
even the
other week. We
volume,
talked about Elanga. I told them Elanga's one is just so impressive. I think Elanga was 55% shot accuracy. Gibbs White, sorry, Noni is 40. The next player I looked at that same day was Kudus. You won't expect. Kudus was what was that? 29% shot accuracy.
yeah,
Kudus. I'm
that's good.
surprised.
And
I don't understand how Kudus is way lower than Noni Madueke at 29. Noni is 40. Yeah, continue what you're
yeah.
saying.
And I think like he takes you look at his touches in the penalty box. He's up there with Mohamed Salah and guys like the guys like Mbeumo. So he has those assets. But the problem is that's when he plays on the right wing, and that's where Saka plays right now. Unless there's something that Arteta is trying to do, and this with this Arsenal team, where does this pick? Are you planning to move Saka into another position? Are you trying to play? Because again, it does. Because again, if Saka is starting, I expect Saka, if all things are equal, I expect Saka to start somewhere between 30 to 35 Premier League games next season. And I know there'll be some games, say 30 starts. There'll be some games where, particularly if the calendar gets busy in that Christmas period, you make some rotations. put him on the bench. And I think that that's also been a position they've not had enough a quality player that they can rely on off the bench that plays in that position. So you can then reduce Saka's workload, giving on him more minutes. But I don't think if you're challenging for the title, can you really do that, or do you plan to do that in the Champions League and mix it to the Premier League? I don't really, because again, it's for the price. Because from an Arsenal perspective, the worst thing that can happen right now in this with their transfer business is they get Noni done, and when it comes to the guys they really want, the goalkeepers, for example, if they can't pull those deals off, Gokeres, Rodrigo, or even Eze, if they can't pull those deals off for whatever reason, say they can't pull it off for financial reasons, or they can't meet the asking price of those players from the clubs, I don't think all of Arsenal fans will take that well because selling out again 50 million for Noni Madueke, I think it's fair, but for Arsenal, it's a lot. It's
But what I think has factored into the calculation. Let me give for our listeners. Let me give them more context. Last season, Noni ended up scoring 7 goals, 3 assists. Now you can look
and
at
no, I know, but also if you add that, 'cause that's 7 goals, 3 of those goals came in the second week of the season. The hat-trick he
against
scored
Wolves,
against Wolves. So he basically scored four more goals after that in Premier League. Is that
which is which to
in
me that is awful. You look at his assists.
that's
I
is that
think he had only like 9 assists or 8 assists all his career at Chelsea. He has very very poor assists. I was
okay?
listening to someone say
No,
extremely
no,
very very poor. But
no.
these are the things. Yeah, how
Chelsea
many
is
assists?
that five in the Premier League. He's had only 5 assists in the Premier League.
In 2 years, more than 2 years. This is
No,
second two
in
and a
three
half
years.
years.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
but
2 years. So it's okay
but
okay
he's a
unless
direct
this
dribbler who thrives in one-on-one situations, able to play on. I think what has factored in, what has increased his price. What I'm thinking is what Ateta has tried to do is that he's looking at a player who can play on in both positions, left and a right. Now,
okay.
if you get someone who's playing only on the left, let's assume an average player, let's assume he goes to the French league and gets a player who plays on the left, just on the left, or he goes to the Portuguese league to get a player who plays on the left. If he gets that sort of player, let's assume he's going to pay nothing less than 30 million pounds, right? So he's thinking instead of get one on the left, get one on the right, and they might not be successful, and then pay double salary. That is 60 million. I can just get one. Because one thing I found about Noni that is very, very impressive is he hardly misses games. He's almost always available. If you look at this season, he played 32 Premier League games. You look at last season, that availability is there. So that's one good thing. Some players, you sign them, they are never available. Lavia plays 1 week and then he's off for the next 3 months. He comes back again.
Lav,
Fofana, the same thing.
Lavia, I think Lavia averages 190 per 30 days.
But and when he comes on the field to play, he's so good at. So do you know Lavia is so good that even if he misses 30 games and I watch him again, it's like he just played yesterday. And he's the
Is
only
it?
player that He's the only player that you don't see him when he has the injury. It's at the end of the game we start reporting that he is
It's no, and I think with as a Chelsea fan, whenever you see the pictures on social media when players are training in the days leading up to a game, so I'm always like, oh, where's Lavia? If I don't see him in any of the training pictures, I'm like,
and I
and
like
because
I'm
I know
I'm more the
no,
Lavia than the Caicedo. I just love Lavia. Yeah,
no,
yeah, yeah.
no. I'm definitely Caicedo, but even with Lavia, it's almost. But whenever he steps on that pitch, you see the quality. You
Yeah,
see,
yeah, you see the goal. And you could see
it's
the
not.
comfort Caicedo has when he's playing with Lavia, unlike Enzo.
And you see
There's
the team, like you just see the team always looks. I won't say better, but the team looks good with him there. He's performing there. The players, even Enzo, Palmer, Caicedo, it looks balanced. But the problem is, I'll be honest, I can't stand this because the situation you have with this kind of players is it's not just the impact they have on the team with their absences, but the impact they have on their teammates as well. Because if Lavia is not around consistently, it means like guys like the other guys, Enzo, Caicedo, they have to
yeah,
play
they're
more minutes.
overworking.
Yeah, but what? Because the guy that you can really rely, okay, because obviously there's some games where you can't start all three, but you can bring on or take one off after 60, 70 minutes just to keep legs fresh. But Caicedo is having to play. Like
Mm.
I think Caicedo this season has been. I think he's been a warrior for Chelsea this season. But
Mm.
that I think we talk about Chelsea after the
Let's go back to Noni. Now, 30% of total Noni recorded the second most assists in players who played at least 900 minutes last season. 33% of his total carries in the Premier League were all progressive. That is high. That
no
is the second among
no
players who played at least 900 minutes. Doku was the
his
most.
his progressive carries in the Premier League is at the 99 percentile
Yeah,
per,
99%.
per
Now,
90.
also,
No, like
is
no, like that is what we call that is a unicorn level. That is 1 out of 5 in the Premier League. There are very few players that have that particular stats in their favor, and I think, and also I think with Noni, he also has is a very good player when you is a good player to have in your team when you come up against teams that want to sit deep because it's always winning, and I think something I'll give him credit for because especially we see a lot of players these days, they get the ball and they don't take that risk. But I think whenever
yeah,
Noni
yeah, yeah.
gets that ball,
I don't think we don't see it again in modern football. Him and Doku and Kudus, they always want to go.
take on
You
you
just
see
as a
you see
defender, if you come against him, you know he's going one on one
it's
with you.
it might not the end product might not be there or even the creativity might not be there. But I think when you see his shot creating actions in the Premier League, that's per 90 is just under four shot creating actions per 90 minutes. That is when you come up against a deep block, a team that's defending deep, you need guys that take on players. You need guys that make those runs, make those dribbles towards or inside the box. But the problem with it is always the finishing at the end of it is not always quite there. The final pass, the final decision making is not always quite there. But again, I think Arteta was famed for his influence on Sterling, Sane, Mahrez while he was assistant coach at Man City, and I think it also had a bit of impact on Saka at Arsenal now and Martinelli. So if Arteta believes he can refine his game, repackage what he does best what he does best, channel those his strengths in a different way, get him to polish what way he needs to polish. I guess you can get a very good Premier League winger because I think Lon is a good Premier League winger. I won't argue with anybody that says that, but it's not. But I don't think he's an effective winger. I don't think he's consistent enough. So that's
But
where I think
at
that.
53, he still has a lot of years ahead of him.
But I think what you said about Nona has been playing. Like even I think he was playing a lot. He's played a lot of games. This is not a young 23.
Yeah,
This is
before he joined Chelsea, I was surprised to see that he had played two full seasons at PSV, plus another one when he was coming up. You know, he joined Chelsea in January. So
January
that
of.
means, with the exception of the September or whatever to August to January, he had already played two full seasons in PSV, plus
Yeah.
the first season he played his breakthrough season. So let's take off the breakthrough season. That was only 4 games, all competitions. So he was already a starter for 2 full games. You look
Uh,
at him, I look at the first game I saw him in Chelsea. It made me
eh,
realize that maybe the standard in Dutch for Eredivisie is still a little bit backward because he was still raw. And I was reading
no,
something about which club was I? I was reading something about a side. I think Nottingham Forest. They were linking Nottingham Forest to go for a player that Newcastle would have signed. I think there's a player in PSV called Bagayoko. I forgot the first
yeah,
name.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
they say he was the second choice for Newcastle if they couldn't get Elanga. And then,
Yeah.
but you
And
watch these boys. They come to Premier League. They have Sangara. Is it Sangari or
Sanga,
whatever? You watch
Sangari,
them.
yeah.
Their
It's
mouths are.
always It's always, I think it's always a bit like, but then it speaks to the quality of the Dutch league, where I don't think I don't think the success rate from players leaving that league and going to bigger leagues or more, or going to a top 5 league in Europe. I don't think the success rate is quite high. Because even the guys United side, even the famous guys that like the Ten Hag guys, Anthony.
And
Anthony is
then,
one of
Anthony, yeah,
Anthony.
Anthony is one of them.
Anthony, even some of the guys that went from that famous
Got him
Dutch.
back. It took him like 2 years when he went
Yeah,
to.
it's so. I think some of them. There's been a lot of factors. The environment. Some of them are very, or they're shown to be very injury prone. Like even Van der Beek, De Jong is another one. I think there's a lot of even like Ziyech was at Chelsea and he really struggled to have an impact in Premier League consistently. But I think well, final word on Noni, and I'll be a bit unserious right now. Allow me. I think one of Noni's. I think outside his football on the pitch, I think Noni has an image problem. I think you
Yeah,
know
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
whole which me. I think that's talked with a bit of casual racism. The whole gangster gangman things. I think that's all nonsense.
Yeah.
But I also think at the same time, there's one thing Noni can do that can help or progress his
Also,
um
fascination with the hair.
no that exactly no exactly that's where I'm going. Like he needs to put that bandana away. Put that bandana away. He needs to get like see you see what we'll have. This is what Noni needs to get. In this is what Noni needs to get next season. If Noni rocks up at the Emirates Stadium with his bandana,
Listen, listen. When I was little, right, growing up, I used to be more of a Ruud Van Nistelrooy fan over Henry. I never liked Henry. I only liked Henry after he retired. I never liked Henry. It was rude boy all through for me, right? Then one of the fascinations I realized over the years, I used to remember Rude used to always hold his
yeah,
hand with his
yeah,
hair. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
you hold it. So it didn't take me after so many years. I listened to an interview, Van Nistelrooy himself, not Roy Keane,
yeah.
saying when he came to United, one thing I give to Van Nistelrooy is he's very cautious about his appearance, even at this stage. You see how
Yeah,
his
yeah,
hair,
yeah,
he's
yeah,
extremely very very cautious about his appearance. Like to me, he's just so sweet, everything. Unlike I think it's the French that do that a lot. I find it surprising as a Dutchman. If he's dressing everything is always even I think Maresca is also that kind of a person also or whatever. But back to what I'm saying. So they were asking him questions. He said that when he came to United, he used to have his hair every time. He used to look at the mirror. So this is something I observed as a kid, right? I didn't know he was doing it. He knew what he
intentional.
was doing
It was intentional.
intentionally. Yeah. So he said he always went to the mirror before the game, after the game, halftime. Fascination. He did not know that Roy Keane. Everybody kept telling him you have to face football, but he didn't know that it was irritating Roy Keane. He was surprised one
As
day he
as
went
you
to
can
the
imagine, as if
Roy
as you
Keane,
can
Roy Keane was behind, telling him you have to get a haircut this week. Now they asked him, did you get a haircut? He said he didn't get a haircut. But then, why did you get a haircut? He said he got the haircut because Roy Keane every morning, once Roy Keane gets into training, he's at that particular mirror waiting for Root to come along and check himself. So he got tired of Roy Keane being on his neck and he cut his
yeah,
hair. But I didn't know
no,
that was not the reason why Roy cut, not Roy Keane, Root Van Nistelrooy cut his hair growing up. I don't like, but now, and I see that fascination with Noni Madueke with
yeah,
the hair, I'm like,
and
I
okay,
understand. Yeah, continue.
and I think that's a very interesting tidbit. But also, like, understand the need for personal expression, and a lot of people express themselves with their facial hair or their hairstyles. I understand, which is fair, but I think he's carried at this junction where again he has an image issue, and how do you change this at a new club? We've seen the backlash regarding the transfer. I think either he has three options. Either he takes off that bandana and just let the hair be what it is, or he does a Didier Drogba,
Right.
or or you know what, or he takes it all off. Keep like he needs to like see Saka. Saka should take him to the he should just hang out with Saka. They go get the same haircut. Because again, I think
But you
because
know, all these things come up when you are not producing.
of course absolutely and again
Camelo
especially
Anderson used to wear whatever he used to wear when he was playing NBA. Melo was a ladies' man in the NBA, and all through this time at OKC, nobody really cared. But once the production drops, that becomes a problem. So if you can't match the production, then I also find it difficult because it's like you telling somebody how to live their life. But I don't know.
No,
It's a
I know,
difficult
no,
metric to get to or
no,
whatever.
I know,
But
I know,
you
but
shouldn't be surprised when the fans come to you when you do that. There's a boy in the NBA, I think it's Kelly Oubre. He played for Wizards one. I don't know where he is right now. Also has that image problem. He wants to appear good. He played for Philadelphia 76ers. He played for Wizards. I don't know where he is now. When that production is lacking, or
or you
Lamelo, there's another
Lamelo
one,
Ball.
Angelo. No, ball is different. It's still growing. It's something Angelo. I think Angelo that played with LeBron James. He played for Brooklyn Nets. He played for
Yeah, no.
Washington. I forgot where he is right now. He's been traded several times. So once that production drops, that becomes a problem.
And and not even the drop of production, but it's the inconsistency. Like even like just with basketball, if you see some of the best basketball players, like you see LeBron James, Kobe, rest in peace, Michael Jordan, Steph Curry, KD.
Definitely.
Look all of them. Look at how they carry
Clay
themselves, the
Thompson.
image and all that. Look, Clay Thompson. So I think even a guy like Anthony Edwards, again, you can express yourself with your hairstyle in different ways, but at the same time, I think with him, again, this is we're not being very serious with this discussion because again, I think we're not saying if Noni gets this haircut to improve his game or whatever, but I just think he needs to work. I think he needs to work or repackage his image. That
Image.
whole,
Yeah, yeah.
and I think I think fans already have an opinion about him, and sometimes it's how you present yourself, which it could be right or wrong, but sometimes it's just unfortunately that's how it is sometimes. But with him,
But he wasn't born like that though.
no,
He's from an adventurous home, or I think his father is a medical doctor. So, but I don't. He's not. Whatever he portrays is just he himself.
yeah, exactly. It's
He's from a very big. I
no,
don't even think it's a working class home. I won't say millionaires or, but very very comfortable home.
yeah,
Extremely
so
very very
it's
comfortable home.
so I think with him, like I think like remember when Ancelotti said when AC Milan signed Kaka back in the day, was it no when they signed Alexander Pato, and I don't know how I don't know if this is one of those quotes that just gets fabricated somehow. But he basically said, Pato, you have two directions you could go. Either you go with the Ronaldo and it's the clubbing, the nightlife, the excess of fame, or you go the other way and that's Kaka. Dedication to the game, hard work, all those and what goes with it. I think that's where none is right now. Either you go with Saka, and go and just copy Saka, be what Saka has been doing, build your image and what Saka has done. I'm not saying copying because again, you need that individualistic expression. But I think now your football career needs to matter. This again, you come from very few players get the privilege of playing for two big Premier League clubs, Chelsea and
Yeah, yeah,
Arsenal
very
now.
true.
This is an opportunity. This is a World Cup here. I think it's got some the last 6 months. We've played a few times for the national team. You can have an
And he's
impact with
made a
that
good
national team.
impression. Yeah, he made
Exactly.
a
It's
good
a good
impression.
question. But at the same time, the guy that plays in your best position plays you play at the same club and you play for the same team international. I don't know how that's going to affect his game time. But again, I wish London the best. He's a player I really I won't say enjoy all the time. I think I've really liked whenever he played, I really liked watching him play. It was very exciting. I liked his freedom, his expression, and all that. I wish him good luck. 'Cause I think a lot of football fans struggle with this where if he leaves the club, okay, I hate you forever. But like sometimes I have no like well, except for two of them.
Courtois is a no-no
Except
for me.
no, like Courtois, I think I'm
Courtois.
okay. I
No,
think Courtois.
I'm not okay with Courtois. I'm okay with any other
No,
person that left
no,
Chelsea, but
like
not
no,
Courtois.
no. I think Courtois, I think Courtois has been just been so great, so outstanding at Real Madrid
Right,
that
yeah, yeah.
even whatever hate I have from him, just like you know what, fair enough. You've been great, but you see, Mason Mount and Kai Havertz is on site.
No, I'm not. I'm not. No, I
It's
have nothing against Mount. I have something against Kai Havertz, but not Mount. Chelsea pushed him out, so you can't give him contract, then change the contract and expect him to sign. But all of
okay,
them,
okay,
Gallagher is the one that I'm so fond of. I'm like Gallagher
and
wherever
okay.
he goes.
And I think with Mason Mount, I also had a lot of Mason Mount is not particularly the player. I think it was more the idea of the player where the English media, a lot of Chelsea
No, he
fans
wanted to
were
manipulate the fans. There's nothing you
no,
can tell me.
and I think no, I also think a lot of people put a lot of Chelsea fans put Mount on this pedestal that I never thought his footballing ability deserved. So when the instant where it was becoming a Mount FC,
Okay.
Mount, I was like, okay, just stop, okay, stop that. This guy is not as good as you lot are saying. But again, that's it for this. But good luck to
Be-
Noni, and
before Before we wrap up, let me give the viewers more context. One of the good things about him is seamlessly creates shooting opportunities for himself. He can shoot different angles, left foot, right foot. It's very easy for him to create shooting chances. He shoots often 3.5 shots per game. That is high. Belongs to the
yeah,
91 percentile. He shoots 1.4 shots on target. That is high per game. That is 92 percentile. He needs to work on his crossing. His crossing is abysmal. 17%, 17.5% cross successful crossing. When it comes to crossing, you don't need to have up to 100%. Once you have up to 20%, it's seen as having an average crossing accuracy. But
yeah,
is 17%. There was a player I was covering. He had like 28%. Or who was Elang? I think Elanga is like 28 or something. There's somebody. Then Tar, the guy at Tottenham, is like 25%. That is very,
yeah,
very high.
yeah, yeah.
Then Noni is very, very poor on chances. 1.41 chances per 90. That is very, very poor. Expected assists 1.14. So it's more of he plays hero ball, he plays all for himself. That is what this thing tells us. 1.88 dribbles per game, 49.5%. That is impressive. 72 tackles won. That is very, very impressive. But the problem is he doesn't get involved in as many tackles. He gets involved in very few. But when he gets involved, he wins most of
Yeah.
them. Then area 44% dues won. Regular dues won. Not really bad. 36.7 area dues won. That is very, very bad for an attacker. That tells you that he's comfortable with the ball to his leg. That means you can't play keep kicking ball. He can't play for David Moyes, obviously. Then
No,
possession one in the final third. Very, very good. 0.79 possession one in the final third. I find it interesting that he can press, but he can't come back to defend. Normally most
is
players who press
yeah.
come back to defend.
It's
That's why I don't understand about him.
and I think that's one aspect he has, because I think if you look at a lot of Arsenal players, they're very, as a team and individually, they're very switched on when it comes to that off the ball movement and off the ball concentration. But just a final question on Noni before we go. How do you see this from a Chelsea perspective? Do you think Chelsea have sold him too soon, or should they have
No, no, no. You get that
tried?
money. You get that money. The only reason I'll sell on if even if I'm offered, even if I'm offered 40 million, I'll sell it. The reason why I'm selling it, I ask myself this question: Chelsea has Neto, Chelsea has Neto, Chelsea has Gittins, Chelsea has Joao Pedro, depending on how you see him. Chelsea has Estaval. Do you think none is better than these four players? I don't really think so.
Yeah,
There's no need keeping him. I
yeah.
don't really think so. You have Quenda coming in next season again, who might be better in terms of carrying of the ball because all Quenda does is speed. Quenda is like an Elanga that hasn't exploded yet. So if you
But
have that,
but you know, with I was watching the recent this year's what's it called, under 21 Euro under 21 championship, and I saw a bit of Portugal with Quenda. He, I think he was one of the best players at the tournament. Unfortunately, Portugal
oh, he was.
didn't progress past the quarterfinal, but I think whenever you watched him play, especially in the group games, he was electric. He's a chance creating demon. He run. He looks he looks like
I'm surprised why many clubs didn't come. And it's still that Chelsea had a home run with him.
it's I know, but and I think that's why, like, because I think you've seen with Chelsea where sometimes where they have an eye on one player, and I think they go in early just to secure that player. You see, I think that's what they did with Quena, because they know if this guy stays on the market for another 6 months, another club is going to get him.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And particularly if we've seen like
Because
how much, like,
you easily see that speed, except he has off the field problem
you
or
see the
he's a
physical.
trouble player.
Yeah,
I'm risking it.
yeah.
It's so easy to see him. It's extremely like. Don't get me wrong. Another player, I'm not comparing them, right? I'm not comparing. This is not what I'm trying to do. But there are some players when you see them, you have to spend that money. Harvey Elliott also, when I saw him for Fulham, you see, it's not that they can do everything, but
Lavia,
you just see the high ceiling. Yeah, you just
Lavia,
say,
so
you know what, I have to go
just
for this player,
because
whatever. It might work out. Estaval is also showed me. I didn't know Estaval before, but it showed me at this Euro tournament how good. Sometimes it doesn't work. The likes of Pablo Aima, sometimes it doesn't work. You look at the guy Real Madrid has signed. Is it, how
but
do you pronounce his name? Mas
uh,
something. The Real Madrid.
Mastano. That's how
Mastano or something. Yeah. He
Mastuano. Yeah,
doesn't really, he has the power, but like, oh, let me give you an example of what I'm trying to say. When Real Madrid signed Rodrigo, I didn't really see much. I saw much with Vini. Vini was
yeah.
much more exciting to me. So when I
Vinny
see
had
those sort of players, sometimes it doesn't work. That's not a problem. Just get them in your club. So when that 30 something million to me is a steal for him. Because also another player I'm starting to also see if what they're saying about him comes uh, turns out to be good, then other clubs have been sleeping. The Chelsea goalkeeper Penders. I looked at his
and
record last season.
he
They
had
were topping the league, the Belgian league, at the point.
yeah.
They went down, but they finished third in the
Yeah.
league, right? He kept like 7 clean sheets, I don't know. But you look at it, he was exceptional in terms of, but it's still the Belgian league. But when you look at one of the easiest, I didn't know he was that good. Like to me, I've never seen any goalkeeper have such record like him with Peter Cech. When I was reading his profile, how he made his debut, how he played in under 21. In
On that
fact, I
it's
didn't
one
know
Euro
Cech was
Championship.
that
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
I did not. I used to think he used to be Casillas or Buffon. He
No,
had
no,
an
no.
impressive record from the first day he came to. Was it Slavia Prague that he played for?
Mm.
He recorded the most clean sheets in the whatever in the Czech league before he even left. Even the likes of Real Madrid came for him. He said no, he wants to go to Rennes. So that tells you that this player, whatever, is special, right? I look at Penders also. I look at the money they signed for him. I look, he's going on loan to
It's it,
Strasbourg. Okay, is
it's
Chelsea going to wait for 2 years for him to come back? I don't understand what they're playing, but he has an exceptional CV or
but
resume.
and I think in a way that's probably why Chelsea have been or they've not really pushed the needle when it comes to that goalkeeping position. Because when you look, if you have this guy that, because again, a lot of people who are in the business, the analytical guys that are into scouting, a lot of guys say he's literally the next Courtois. And not just that the next Courtois in terms of his goal saving actions, but he's the next Courtois with better ball playing actions. And like if you look at Czech went to the French league, he exploded in the French league, and that's where Pender seems to be going next season. If Pender stays, because again, I think you can loan him for. I hope they keep him there for even a year or two. He can stay there,
I
develop,
think two
grow.
years. No, no, 2 years, 2 years. What I'm suspecting they want to do is I don't think Chelsea signing a goalkeeper.
They will. I think they.
I'm you
I
feel?
think. I think they will sign a goalkeeper. I think it's paramount they sign a goalkeeper. Again, I'll be shocked if they don't sign a goalkeeper because it's not
What I'm
just
thinking is that they want to keep Sanchez in Chelsea for 2 more years. Keep Penders in Strasbourg.
2 more years.
Penders is spending 2 years in Strasbourg. Not
Yeah,
one. He's not
but
spending one. He's spending two. Keep him in Strasbourg for 2 more years. Then bring him to come and
and
start for Chelsea. That is what I think. I don't know
yeah,
how because
and yeah, I understand. And I also think with Chelsea, like, because it's also important for those players to see the pathway into the first team. Because if say, because if Chelsea go sign a goalkeeper that's 24, 25 now, that sort of blocks Pender's pathway into the first team. And that's why probably the links to Mike Maignan made sense because I think he's a lot older now. He can the goalkeeper you can imagine coming into the Premier League. He stays for a year or two, then you move him on,
no,
you bring Penders in.
he can stay
But
for 3 years. Yeah,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. But I think Chelsea need. I don't think because I think Sanchez he gets a lot of flack. I think deservedly so. But at the same time, he I think I'll be honest. I think the last at the back end of the season he came clutch for Chelsea. He was really really strong, and I
he
don't know
has
how.
improved.
And no, well, I won't say improve because he still has those moments. With Sanchez's moments, he has those moments of just sorry to say stupidity. Yeah, like you saw in the semi-final against against Fluminense where the shots that Cucurella plays off the line. That's because Sanchez, for whatever reason, was slow off his line. So he has those moments. I think if Sanchez sorts out those moments of just brain farts, he's one of the best goalkeepers around. His shot stopping is amazing. His what's it called? His aerial ability, coming out for claims, high claims, corners, crosses. He's very good at that. So it's a very funny situation. But I just for security sake, because I always have this feeling because again with the game coming up against Paris Saint-Germain this weekend, we see how Paris Saint-Germain press, how aggressive they are aggressive with that press. And Sanchez, whenever he has the ball at his feet, he's always very he looks confused. The whole looks very unorganized. So I'm worried about that. But I think more than anything, I think we need a goalkeeper. And with the way they've moved this window, not getting rid of Noni, but moving Noni on and possibly looking at moving Jackson on as well. I put Sanchez in that same boat. They've been good, they've been bad, but just overall n- not quite good enough consistently. And I think they're probably in this group. They're probably in this phase where they're trying to improve on quality or move players on that have not been of the level consistently enough. I really hope it gets. If it's besides Mike Mannion, I don't really know. I think the guy, the goalkeeper at Roma, Miles Fila, is I think it's one had an
He
impressive
has
season.
extended.
Yeah,
I think he has extended.
yeah, extended this week. So but I just think even at
Where is he
Chelsea,
from
Chelsea.
originally? Hispanic.
I don't know, but I think he's Serbian as well. I think
Oh,
it's
Villa.
Serbian. Fila, I think it's Serbian, but I think he has some. I think it's Belgian. He has some Belgian ties
He
as
has
well.
low key been very, very good. When they replaced him with the guy from Wolves, they signed a goalkeeper that Portuguese number one for years. I
Patricio.
felt it would be difficult to replace Patricio. Yeah, he seamlessly replaced
Yeah,
Patricio for them.
yeah, yeah. I felt that because and I remember when he was in the. He's also I think he's partly Belgian from Belgium. And he's played for the Belgian under 15 to under 21 teams. But now he plays, I think he has two appearances for Serbia national team. I think he's probably the next.
That Portugal goalkeeper, I'm not really impressed with him.
I think for the price points, because Portuguese teams they will always squeeze every last penny out they can get. So
In the Europa League, in the World Club Championship, he
yeah,
didn't turn any tricks.
I think whenever I've really watched him, I've not been when I watched him at the World Cup with the Portuguese team, I was not really convinced. When I've seen him with Porto in the Europa League, particularly against Manchester United this season, not convinced as well. Then this Club World Cup, he looks okay. It doesn't look like a 50 or 60 million pound goalkeeper. But then it's again, it's always tough to decide with goalkeepers particularly. But I strongly feel Chelsea need a fresh face in goal next season.
Okay, that should be all for us today. Join us again next week. Thanks a lot to our viewers.
Okay, yeah,
Thank you.
thanks. Yeah, good talk.